great. So, as you know, the title reads, excuse me. As the title reads, I have finally unlocked the Master Rank 30 list, and I wanted to capture it on camera because it's something I'm never going to be able to really do again. You know, for the first time. So, let's fucking do it. Look at this. 3 Umbra Forma. Nice, nice. Plus 15 loadout slots. And 30 ribbon mods. I forgot about that. The Umbra Forma is like just a nice little bonus compared to those. Like, goddamn, alright. Let's fucking do this. I'm not gonna have to worry about ribbons for a while. Yep, that's pretty much what this is gonna be. It's gonna be me firing a blade. Kind of obnoxious how my heavy attack isn't working properly. Just sometimes. This is really easy. I did the practice run last night. When I got it, I was too fucking excited not to. So... Oh, wow, I almost... That was bad. Oh, man, those Blitz Eximus are just nuts. I'm so glad I have a fucking book. Strike! You lie away. Go. See, it's just Wukong can do everything. He can just do everything. I'm trying not to overshoot, because if I overshoot, one thing wears out while flying forward. like too much momentum to be able to stop. Stage 5 out of 5. This is it. I'm gonna do a bit more Xenoblade today because I've been really fucking slacking. Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay. You. Target. Overshields just fucking suck. I really just don't like them, and I almost went completely off the edge. Whoa. There we go. It's done. Oh wait, I can go over here. Finally happy. Finally fucking happy. Just gonna take a screenshot of that. Resist. I've been playing Warframe since probably 2019, late 2019. Probably more accurate. I think it was November, December of 2019. I started playing on the Switch and got to MR27 on there until I switched in January of 2021. Since then, I've been playing primarily on PC and finally hit third. Oh, and thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. Jokul. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just, yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, true master. Oh no, I get to put a little thing on my ship. Yeah, there we go. I get the little thing now. Hooray. I don't think they show it here. Yeah, 45 now. Good lord. Go back and take this thing off. Now all I need is Prime Sure-Footed again, hit daily login 400, and pretty much all my goals are done. I don't know what to do. Wow. Look at that. That's glorious. And just because I can, I wonder really. I don't know how this stuff works. Strata. Yeah, Strata really is. Yep. There you fucking go. Move it. I just did. Yeah. These are useless. This is... okay. Yeah. Look at me! That's fucking baller. Some of the energy effects are missing, but I mean, it's still fucking baller. Ah. Shit. Not sure what else to do. I mean, this is pretty much the only intent was to just do the MR30 thing. It's like, okay, now I've done that. What now? First and foremost, just I'm wondering though, does the blessing, I give out, does it apply to me as well? Evidently it does. Oh, that's awesome. It may not be the biggest bonus in the world, but it's still something. That's really nice. Let's see anything that's dumb. What do you need on the focus here? 0. I believe the focus cap is going to be 400,000. Which is... might as well run a few, just run a few relics. Honestly, it's sort of just kind of add up the stream a little bit, because I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to stream only for 15 minutes, so. Nope. There we go. It's like it's not lost on me. Just the overall just like ease of how I play this game now. I just run around with a Wukong, pull out the clone, right? Just pull out the clone and pull out the Brahma and just everything dies, right? It's not lost on me, I completely trivialized the game. I would like to see a single target weapon sort of make a comeback. not as a not in the way that they're single target. I would prefer to make them all. It's kind of, you know, it's sort of, I guess, like a Viet Bando, you know, just like a mod that turns a single target, you know, assault rifle or some shit, you know, machine gun into an explosive weapon or something. I'm like, we already have the mod for it, so it's for bows specifically. Thunderbolt. Chance to, it's like something like a 30% chance to make for each arrow to explode, like a fixed amount of explosion damage, and like 750 damage explosion. It's completely useless. Nobody touches it, nobody uses it, nobody wants it, for good reason, right? So what if, you know, what if instead of just an explosion, blast damage, if instead of that, it would just be, like, it would scale, like, first of all, you can keep it as blast damage, but it should probably scale off your damage mods, as well as, you know, if to place it, you would then be able to place it on, just like, for example, Snore Prime, you place it, that mod on there, it should make all the fucking bullets explode. Sort of like what you have with the, like, a similar idea, I guess, would be like with the Zooge. But instead of that, I think I'd rather have a, because with the Zooge, you kind of have this, the bolts lodge into the target and then explode after a set time. It's quite handy, like, actually, to sit back. Pretty obvious. People who know the game will probably know this information. Off the chance that someone doesn't, you have to find this or upload it somewhere else, just for the sake of argument as well. Actually, that's something else that you. Ooh, look at all these loadout slots. That's nice. Actually, no, just here, and then I go there. Test up. Z huge. I don't have this thing leveled up at all. I would like to. If I get a ribbon for this, I would love to level this thing, but not without practical footing. Do that, and then they explode. Actually, I'm rather curious. Are they affected by? Is this affected by virus? That is. I mean, actually, I haven't looked at this thing at all. It does. You can apply it just for the sake of it. That. Range, radial attack range goes from 2.6 to 4.2. What it do? Okay, now everything here is affected. Including me. See, like, the explosion, it's not the worst. You know? If you were to, like, really sauce this thing up, it could actually be really useful. There's the problem with it. First of all, it has self-stackers annoying as hell, and that's why I don't use it. Because, you know, like, eventually things start running up on you, and then you do that. So, inevitably, it turns a fully automatic weapon into a burst fire. You know, where you're shooting in bursts, which is kind of annoying. But if I were to just take I think the Trumna would actually be a great example. Because I think the Trumna technically does have just AoE. Does it? Actually, Trum that have AoE. But basically taking something like the Trumna where it you know, I think it is hit scan. Hit scan, and then you can just, you know, you can see the projectile. It has like a little explosion thing, right? If you were to just slap on a mod, and I don't think that mod should count for already like explosive weapons. If I were to take this Brahma and I would have, I can't put Thunder, right? If I were to just take this, put a Thunderbolt on it, why would I do that? There's no point. It already explodes. But I'm going to take this, which could just do that. Give it innate punch through, and so it explodes twice. You know, it explodes on the initial thing, and then the punch through kicks in, where it goes through the target and then explodes on the next target. The max, that'd be the max. So that it not only becomes an excellent hallway clearer, because this thing with you know, when it already has like punch through, it's just obnoxiously good in hallways. But if you were to give it an explosion radius, like it wouldn't even compare. This thing could easily be top tier, especially with its rivet stats being average as they are. This thing is fantastic. I just wish it could be better. I would much prefer to use this than the Brahma, in all honesty. The Brahma is just so good, I can just turn off my brain and go, you know, haha, monkey shoot bro and explode. Monkey go boom. Right? That. It would leave things open to power creep. I should probably like write down an actual script for an actual video on this, or at least some sort of bullet, you know, itemized sort of itemized thoughts. Go through a certain thing, kind of go through it, something a little more structured. But it's just sort of like the base idea. Something like this, or shit, even this Tenet Tetra, right? It does a thing, everything bounces, right? Could you imagine if each time this thing bounced, they explode? Like, this thing would easily be one of the strongest weapons just for AoE in the game. I mean, sure, you can already do this. Like... Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, so you can already do this. And it just, you know, kind of like... It's kind of annoying. Because it completely just empties the entire magazine. And it's good. Like, the Tenet Tetra is, like, good, I guess. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for just kaboom. Right? I can't even use it. I'm completely out. Like, get what? One? You get 6. You get 6 shots. I had to do a little bit of math in my head. I'm not very good at that stuff. But you get 6 shots at that without ammo movement, which is a crime. When, you know, theoretically, if I were, because you, again, you would have to sacrifice a mod slot. What would you sacrifice? I mean, a whole bunch of, I mean, this would easily, you know, go in the Exilus slot. Thank God, put it there. But maybe you have to sacrifice Firestorm. Maybe you have to sacrifice Firestorm, which, and it might be legitimately a good option to sacrifice something like Firestorm, because instead of one big, massive explosion, you would then have to... You would then be able to just go burn. Right? instead of one massive explosion, it's a whole shitload of, you know, half-decent explosions all at once. Exploding and bouncing everywhere. But look at this. Still bouncing. Could you imagine the fucking the absolute mayhem? They'd have to certainly turn down the explosion effects. They would certainly have to turn that down because this, specifically, would absolutely ruin other people's computers if they were lower end. Just this constantly, everything exploding like this, yeah, ruin computers. Absolutely fucking ruin. But for something like a Tenora, like where you give it punch through, like, and you can't have punch through on this thing. You can't have punch through on this thing because otherwise they would be able to bounce around. Because the projectiles in and of itself like would go through and they wouldn't work, right? But if you were to give something like, and this maybe it could apply to shotguns as well, single target shotguns. But maybe, I mean, or the cone. Like, I mean, this doesn't really need it. But again, it's also, you know, single target, kind of obnoxious. Beam weapons certainly wouldn't need it either, because, you know, they're beam weapons. I mean, most of them already chain, except this one and this one. But I mean, you can still make an AoE out of this one with punch through. Both of these punch through, excellent stuff. But, you know, Ignis Ray already has an 8 punch through, excellent. This one doesn't change, just put an 8 punch through on it, just put punch through on it, and it's phenomenal. I actually really like using this thing. It's really good. Demonstrate. I don't know if I have punch through this. I haven't actually really loved the black side with it. But I mean, like, look at that. Oh, that being said, Prime Firestorm does work on it. For some reason. I don't know why Prime Firestorm sort of works on it, but it does. And you get your stacks up, and then bam, it just goes. It just keeps going. And I believe the condition overload mod is on. I can't remember. See, this wouldn't need Firestorm. This is fine on its own. This is fine on its own. You're not going to be able to take it into Steel Path, probably. Steel Path, like high level Steel Path. But this is still certainly usable. Most certain. Look at that. 23,000. Yeah. Which is pretty respectable for a single target beam weapon. Single target, you know, without Firestorm. It's pretty respectable. Respectable. But something like a Boltor Prime, like, admittedly, it's not built, but I mean, this thing just doesn't get used. Nobody touches this thing. And for good reason. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. Like, I prefer the Telos Voltor over it, because, you know, it has better critical chance and lower status. Which, status is good, but the critical chance is far more important, right? Vaza Prime. This thing is solid too, but also single target. So, I mean, honestly speaking, like with Paris Prime here, I think it's a better we'll throw it over. We'll throw it over move, of course. This would be excellent with. This is probably at least half decent with Ceranos Prime. I think I don't have yet. Yeah, see, there you go. It explodes. Explodes, and it's a 30% chance, right? I think that would have to for this to be usable. I think this would have to be buffed to 100%, obviously. given how much it drops, it would have to be buffed to 100%, as well as the damage. The damage has to skip. It has to skip. If I were to pull up Thunderbolt, Warframe, pull up the wiki here. Oh, it's not even 750. It's so much worse. Yeah, max rank. Keep in mind, this is max rank, and it takes a tiny amount of endo. Sure, to level up, but 30% chance to explode. The explosion deals 250 blast damage to the target, as well as to nearby enemies within 10 meters of the blast. Which is not a bad AoE. That's really sizable. Hold on. That is really sizable. That's really sizable. Leave that. Yeah, you can leave that alone and just make this absolutely fucking demolish everything if you focus on a single target weapon, like a single target rifle. Well, first of all, it's like the explosions, self-stagger, sure. Unlike the area blast of dedicated blast weapons like launchers, Thunderbolt does not have a safety distance to prevent self-stagger. Furthermore, if a shot hits and explodes close enough to you, it will do a full knockdown instead of just a self-stagger. That would have to change as well. It would have to do self-stagger. Which arguably is a little bit more annoying, but it would still be better. The explosion damage from this mod cannot be increased with base damage such as Duration and Elemental mod such as Hellfire, but will be increased by Bane mods like Bane Best. Yeah, compared to launchers, the Thunderbolt blast has full punch through, like most launchers, and zero fall off throughout the entire area of effect, unlike most launchers. So all enemies take full damage even at the outermost edges of the blast while behind cover. This blast area is increased by Firestorm or Prime Firestorm. The explosions are silent. Arrows fired at terrain and other surfaces will explode, but not arrows fired at teammates or other allies. Which is good. That would be an excellent thing. I don't know why. I still don't know why the fucking Zooch Prime doesn't work like that. Whatever. When the explosion occurs, the projectile of the arrow causing that is actually dissolved, thus any subsequent mechanics relating to the projectile will not happen, such as punching through with a spore coming out of the arrow of a Mutalis's Xanos. So, there's a few things that this could easily be fixed. The explosion of 250 blast damage. I'm not saying it doesn't have, it has to be blast damage, but I would scrap that altogether. Just scrap the blast damage altogether from the mod, and just have it rely off of the base weapons damage. The explosion inflicts self-stagger, which is fine. The damage from the explosion, not stacking with Duration or Elemental mods, that's gotta go. That being said, it probably, if you were to scrap both that and the explosion damage in and of itself, scrap that and just add the AoE for the base damage of the weapon, it would probably do far better. Innate punch through is good. But when the arrow is dissolved, that punch through is non-existent. So get rid of that dissolving thing. This weapon is really old, so it's probably really deep in spaghetti code. Mod is really old. Blast area increased by Firestorm or Prime Firestorm. 10 meters of radius just at base is kind of nutty by itself. If you were to slap this on a Tenor Prime, it would be absurd. And the fact that it has 0 fall off would probably be a problem. I wouldn't, it would make sense. It would make sense for it to be nerfed. That fall off to be nerfed. That would make a lot of sense. There's a serious case for this, I think. It's like you have a trash mod of Thunderbolt that drops constantly from everyone, all these fucking mobs, constantly. And it's just sitting there collecting dust. Like, look at that radius, look at that radius. I think it affected them. Look at that. It doesn't seem to do any status as well. I think that is a problem. Just trying to proc again. See, it's 30%. That's a problem. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be proccing status as well. Which is a necessary thing that needs to that would really happen as well. It needs to proc status for it to keep up. For it to be able to keep up with this thing specifically. I'm not interested in nerfing this thing. I love this thing. But for it to keep up with this, like, for it to keep up with this, it needs to be able to do basically the equivalent. It'd be less damage overall because it's not a launch. Because fully automatic rifles inherently have much lower damage. Now, explosion on something like this, I don't know. I don't think that'd be necessary. I think with certain special case shotguns, like the Arca Plasmor, it already has AoE. It's already got its AoE, so I don't think it needs Thunderbolt. Let's be reasonable. But for something like just single target, just a regular assault rifle, I think it makes a fair case that it should be used. Yeah, see, once you ramp it up, you're good to go. Admittedly, like, at this fucking level, like, yeah, I truly need to recall myself here. Being said, the sizable heat and slash damage is, it's really doing wonders. Yeah, I don't think this is necessary. Thunderbolt is necessary for this. What I think Thunderbolt is necessary for are very specifically fully automatic, just rifles. Like Lieutenant Tetra would be absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. This is a plea. Absolutely hilarious. And it would really shake up everything. Like, people would probably stop using the Brommer so much if I could just use this thing and make everything explode all around me. Turn down the particle effects, of course. I mean, I would recommend everyone do that already, unless you have a higher-end graphics card. Oh boy. Well, it seems the frame rate's tanking. At least my stream is tanking, which is fine. I don't really need to go on much more this. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say on that whole thing, I guess. I could go on and on and on, and I'll probably make something, I'll probably put together, like, an actual video about it, maybe. But this rant, not rant, spitball, it's probably good enough. I'm gonna jump off for now, because the stream is just looking like shit, probably, for everyone else, and that's fine. All the good stuff happened way early. This is just me spitballing and fucking around. And that's totally fine. I'll be back shortly, probably like within the hour, to play Xenoblade, the Xenoblade Chronicles DE on Switch. And yeah. So, thank you for assuming someone was, still watching. Appreciate it, and have a great day. If you don't come back, have a wonderful day. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is, whatever platform you're looking at. So, adios.